Hello viewers, hope all of you are doing great. In this video, I am going to share with you a student's attendance management system. This app will not only allow a faculty member to maintain the attendance of the students, but at the same time, it will allow the faculty to send automatic email notification to all those students whose attendance is less than a given threshold. You can consider this project as a full stack web development project, or you can consider it as a database management system project, or you can consider it as a software engineering project. I have used HTML, CSS, and JavaScript for the client-side programming, and for the server side, I have used PHP and MySQL. I also have used Ajax to fetch data from the server without refreshing the page on the client side. This video will have three sections. In the first section, I'll give you a brief project demonstration where I'll be showing you what are the main features of the app. And then I'll tell you how to download and configure the project on your local machine. It means after watching this video, you will have a complete project ready for demonstration in your local machine. This section is very crucial because, as I said you, our app will be able to send emails, and to make your local machine capable of sending emails, you have to do certain configuration. So those are the things that I'll be telling you in this section. And finally, at the end, I'll give you a brief overview of the source code. And also, I'll tell you certain resources that you can follow to understand the source code. Understanding the source code is important because you might want to add new features to the project. So in that case, certainly, if you have some understanding about the existing code, it will be easy for you to add new features to the project. Having said so, let's begin with the first section. The app will have a login page through which a faculty member will be able to enter into the system. A faculty has to specify a username and a password. And once the username and passwords are verified by the system, the faculty will be redirected to this main page, the attendance app page. When a faculty first lands on this page, the page will look something like this. It will have a drop-down list from where a faculty has to select a session. Right now in the database, there are two sessions, 2023 autumn and 2023 spring semesters. Say the faculty selects a particular session. As soon as the faculty selects a session, it will show a list of all the courses taken by the faculty in the selected session. So the faculty first has to select the course for which he or she wants to take the attendance, say this course. As soon as the faculty clicks on this course, it will show this user interface to the faculty. Here, you see, it will first display the code of the course and the name of the course. So code is, say, for example, CO321, and the name is, say, for example, Database Management System Lab. And along with it, it will show you you see here on the right hand side, date time picker. Now this date time picker allows the faculty to change the date. So for example, right by default, it will show you today's day. But suppose if the faculty wants to take the attendance on a different day or wants to view the attendance of a different day, then the faculty can simply click here and then he or she can go to any date he or she wants. So for example, 14th. Let's say the faculty wants to give the attendance for today, say for example 29th, and this page is there. Now here you see here this black strip, this is a nav bar. So here it has three tabs actually, take attendance tab, then notify attendance shortest, and using this feature only, a faculty will be able to send automatic email notification, and that I'll show you in a moment, and then this report section. So by default, when the faculty clicks on a course, this take attendance tab will be activated, and in that tab it will show you a list of all the students who have enrolled for this course. So there are 16 students right now who have enrolled for this particular course. Now see, already the faculty has taken 7 classes for this course. So this is the serial number, roll number of the student, and the name of the student, and then this is the number of classes attended by the student, and this is the percentage of attendance. Now see here, this particular student has attended all the 7 classes, so the percentage is 100%. for this student also 7 classes 100%, because there were only 7 classes taken by the faculty, so 7 out of 7 is 100. But suppose, for example, consider this student, he or she has attended 5 classes out of 7, so the percentage will be 71.43%. So like that, this information will be displayed immediately to the faculty, and then giving the attendance. See here, for each student a checkbox is being displayed. To mark a student as present, the faculty has to just click on this checkbox. So if this checkbox is checked, it means that the student is present. So for example, this is also present, this one is also present, this student is also present. So, and let's give some attendance like that. Okay, so the faculty won't have to click on any button explicitly to save the attendance. As soon as the faculty checks or unchecks a button, automatically the attendance status will be updated in the database. Let's say after giving the attendance for this particular day, for some reason, let's say the faculty goes back to the previous day. So this is the attendance of the previous days. This is the attendance of 28th of April 2024. So the first 3 present, then few of them are absent. And then if the faculty comes back to 29th, he or she will be able to see the attendance for 29th of April. Now let's go to the next feature, which is notify shortage of attendance. So here, if the faculty clicks, this user interface will come, and here enter attendance cutoff. It is asking the faculty to enter a cutoff percentage. So for example, just for demonstration, I specify my cutoff percentage as 50 and I click on go. You will see, okay, no defaulter students. It means all the students have attendance more than 50%. So let's say I make it now a bit high, say 80%, and let's click on go. You see, remember there were 16 students. Out of 16, these 9 students have attendance less than 80%. You see, he or she has 62%. Some of them have 75. Some of them have 50. Let's say make it 60, and let's get rid of a few of them. Okay, below 60 there are 2 students. These are 2 students who have attendance less than 50%, and say that is the cutoff percentage, and the faculty wants these 2 students to notify. In that case, what the faculty has to do is he or she just have to click on this send mail button. You see here, this message is being displayed. When you click on send email, an email will be automatically sent to all the students listed above. It means if the faculty clicks on this send mail, one email will be received by this student, another email will be received by this student. And see here, for the time being, I have set the email address of both the students to the same email ID, rcb at fb@gmail.com, and this is my email ID. And after clicking this button, I can show you, okay, whether these emails any email has been received or not. Let's see, I click on this send email button, and see here, sending email might take some time. You can expect 30 seconds per email, so 2 students 1 minute. So I'll be coming back once it is done. Okay, once the emails are sent, this message will come, email sent. And not only that, at the same time, it will show you a count, like how many times these students were notified through emails. See here, this student was notified twice and this student was notified 3 times. So this will give the faculty an idea, okay, this student has already been informed, or this student was never informed, like that. Okay, anyhow, since I clicked on this send email, you will see those emails should be received at this particular email ID. Let me show you the inbox for this email ID. See, this is the email ID, rcb@fb@gmail.com. Now here you can see from Rambisha from Howdy. This is the sender's email. Okay, I have set the sender's email to this one, and I'll show you in section 2 how to configure or how to set this email ID, the sender's email ID. But anyhow, right now it is set as this, so I'm receiving the email from this email ID, and the subject of the email is a shortage of attendance. Let's open that. See, there were 2 students, so I'm receiving 2 emails, because for both the students email ID was specified, the same email ID was specified. So here you see here, there the name of the student, you have shortage of attendance less than, see, this was the threshold that I specified there, 60%, and then in whatever this course name, it is coming here automatically, taken by whatever the name of the faculty. So all this information is is there in the email which is or which will be sent to the student. So here this is a different student, so there the name of the student is different, and the rest of the information will be same because it is coming from the same faculty, same course, and for the same cutoff percentage. Now let's go back to our attendance app. So that was the notify attendance shortage feature. And then the next feature is this report feature. So if the faculty clicks on this report, then it will show two different buttons to the faculty. When the faculty clicks on this summary button, then it will download a CSV file which will contain the summary of the attendance. See here, it will tell what is the name of the session, what is the course title, who is the faculty who is taking the course, what is the total number of classes, and when what was the first day on which the class was taken, and the end, the starting and the ending of the course. And then it will have the serial number, roll number, name, attended, and percent. So for example, this particular student, this is the roll number, this is the name, and attended 8 classes out of 8 classes, so 100% attendance. This is also this student is also having 8 classes out of 8 classes, so 100% attendance. And that way this report will contain the attendance, number of attended classes, along with the attendance percentage for all the students who have enrolled for that particular course, and which is taken by that particular faculty. This is important because the same course might be taken by 2 different faculties. In that case, both these faculties will get their own reports. Now let's see what happens if the faculty clicks on a details report. Here also a CSV file will be downloaded, and this file will contain everything that summary file contain, but along with that it will also contain date-wise attendance report. You see here on all these are the dates on which attendance were taken, and these are the status of the student. Now see, this is a CSV file, and when you view a CSV file on Notepad, it doesn't make much sense, and visually you don't get the things clearly. So it's a good idea that if you see this page or see this CSV file in an Excel sheet or in Google Sheet. Let me show you how it will look like in Google Sheet. You see here, these are the basic information, and see now it is displayed on separate columns, so it is more readable now. Roll number, name, and on this date, the first class was taken on this date, then this is the second class, then third class, fourth class, and this is the 7th class, I guess. And this student was present for all these classes. However, if you consider this student was absent for this class and for this class, and like that. So out of 7, it is the student has attended 5 classes, so this is the percentage of the student. So that is the detailed report a faculty can get just by clicking on this download details option. And along with that, certainly there is another feature, this logout button. If the faculty clicks on this logout button, and again the faculty will land on the same login page. Now you have seen what are the features there in this project. So if you like it, you also can have this project running in your local computer. And how to get this source code and how to run this project in your local computer, that is coming up right now. I have uploaded the source code in GitHub, and this is the link to the GitHub repository. I'll provide this link in the description section. When you click on this link, you will land on this page, and from here you want to download this attendance app with email.zip file. To download this file, you click on this green color button. From here you select download zip. When you click on download zip, the zip file should be downloaded to your local machine. Now let's open that zip file. So this is the file which was downloaded. Let me zoom in a bit. You want to now see this file is a zip file, so you have to unzip the file. Let me do it. So, and then this is the unzipped file. Let's open the file, and again on the folder here. So here I get another zip file. So let's unzip this file also. So after unzipping, I get this folder. I open this folder, and inside that I get this attendance app folder. And if I open this folder, you will see the code. I mean, this is the source code of our project, and the main folder of the source code is, or you can say like the project folder is this attendance app is the project folder. Now this folder we want to copy somewhere. So let's copy this folder. You just select the folder and press Ctrl C, or you can right click and you can copy. I guess this is the option. Yeah, copy. After copying this folder, you have to go to C drive. Inside C drive, you will find a folder named XAMPP. This is the folder. You open the XAMPP folder, and inside that you will get another folder named htdocs. Now you open this htdocs folder, and inside this htdocs folder, you paste the attendance app folder you just have copied. So I'm pasting it by pressing Ctrl V. Okay, let's see where it goes. See, this is the folder I just have pasted. And if you open this folder, you should see this content. So this folder contains all the source code of the project. So we have copied the source code, and now it's time to execute this project. To execute this project, let's go to the search option here and type there XAMPP control panel. This is the app that I wanted you people to open now. I click here and the XAMPP control panel app will start. Now from XAMPP control panel, you turn on these Apache and MySQL servers. Right now in my computer, they are on, but in your case, you might see something like this. So if you see these buttons showing you start, you just click on the start button. It will start the Apache server. And if you click on the start button of MySQL, it will start the MySQL server. Now, once both these servers are running, you can now execute the project. So to do that, let's go to your browser. In the browser, open a new tab, and in the address bar, type localhost / attendance app, like that. So let me zoom in a bit there. So here I'm typing localhost / attendance app. So in my case, however, I have to write here another colon after localhost and then 8056. Why I have to write this thing? You see, in my XAMPP control panel here, in the XAMPP control panel, you can see my XAMPP server, my Apache server is running at port number 8056. In your case, by default, it will be 8000. And if it is 8000, then you don't have to write that colon and the port number. But if it is anything other than 8000, then you have to specify that port number. So for some reason, I changed the port number to 8056. And for that reason, when I type here localhost and localhost / attendance app, I also have to specify, okay, my port number is where the Apache server is running is 8056. Okay, having said so, now I'll type there localhost / 8056 / attendance app, and then I'll press enter. As soon as I press enter, you will see the content of the attendance app folder is now being displayed on the screen. You remember, these were the content. Now from here, what you do is you go to the database folder. You go to the database folder, and from here you select this create tables.php. You double click on this PHP file. As soon as you double click on this PHP file, this file will be executed. Let's see what happens when you execute this file. Oh, it says you an error. Let's see what is that error. Okay, unknown database attendance _ db. It's saying that there is no database attendance _ db. Okay, let's first create the database. And where we have to create the database? To create the database, let's again go to XAMPP control panel. I have two open, so I'm closing one. So in the XAMPP control panel, you see, now this time we'll be making use of the MySQL server. So in MySQL server, you can see here, there is this admin button here. So you have to click on this admin button. So if I click here on admin, you see, it is actually showing me an error because my localhost is not simply localhost. I have to write localhost of colon 8056. It means my web server is actually at port number 8056. So I'm pressing it. Now see here, this is the database, MySQL database. Okay, so from here, what we'll do is we'll simply create on the left-hand side panel here. You have to click on this new button there to create a new database. So I'm clicking on new. And here I'm typing a name here. At this point, I'm typing a name, and that name should be attendance underscore DB, because that is the database name that I have specified in the project. So here the name should be attendance underscore DB. And once you have typed the name, then you click on this create button. It will create a database, a blank database whose name will be attendance underscore DB. Now see here, right at this moment, this database is empty. And you see, if I try to open this database, nothing is being shown because the database is empty. Now let's go back to the browser and rerun that create tables.php file, this file here. But okay, let's see what happens when I now press enter. And see here, it shows me a few messages that says student table, student details created, course details created, course details created, faculty created, and all. Okay, and instead of reading these messages, what I suggest you is you go to the MySQL database and check the attendance database. Now, if you click on this database, this time it will show you, okay, these are the tables there in the database. And if you open any one of it, say for example, I open this student details database, so it will show me a few records there. So automatically these records are inserted. See, this create tables.php file contains a PHP program that actually creates this database, and also at the same time it fills the database tables with some dummy records. Okay, now we have our database ready. So this time let's again go back to the browser, and in the address bar here, you remove everything from database. I mean, from this point here. Okay, that is, again, we want to see the content of the root folder. I'm just typing there localhost / attendance app. Okay, you also do the same thing and press enter. You will see, okay, the content of the root folder, and from here you just click on this login.php. As soon as you click on this login.php, you will see this login page there. And here you have to specify the username and the password. And from where those username and password will come, you see here in your database you just have created, you will see there is this table named faculty details. If you open the faculty details table, you see these are the rows of the faculty details, and see this is the username and this is the password. For all these usernames, I kept the password 123 for the time being. So username, you can use now RCB123, or you can use Arindam123 or PAL123 as the username password pair. Okay, let's use this PAL123 as the username password. So I'm typing there PAL and I'm typing there 123, and after that I'm clicking on this login button. Oh, so the app is working now. So here I can select a session, and from here I can select a course, and from here I can give attendance to the student. Okay, great. Up to this point things are working. Now you see, I suppose I give another day. I select another day and mark the attendance of that day also. So now I have two classes ready. Now what I want to do is I want to go to notify attendance shortage. Okay, let's go there. And from here, okay, let's make one more class, okay, because three or four classes are needed to actually demonstrate this feature. So let's go back and I select, say for example 10th, and I give them some attendance. Okay, all of them are present, say on that day, and say another day 8th, and there I randomly choose a few students. Okay, now I have, I guess, how many? 4 classes. Okay, so now let's say I go to notify attendance shortest tab here. See, this thing is important. Now see here, what I can do is I can filter students based on their attendance. Say for example, I want to see all the students whose attendance is less than 50%. So I'll be writing here 50 and clicking on go. So no students, all of them have more than 50%, say 70, let's see. So when I write 70, you can see, okay, there are like these 3 students whose attendance is less than 50% or less than 70%. Now, what I want to do is I want to send them emails. See here, when I click on this send mail button, emails should be sent to all of them. The first thing is that, okay, these emails are dummy emails, abc underscore gmail underscore gmail underscore gmail. Okay, let's first, let me put some valid Gmail ID there. And how do I change this email IDs? Email IDs, sorry. To do that, let's see the student roll number. It is a roll number CSB214, CSB215, and CSM211. Okay, CSB214 and 5. Let's go to the students table. Go to the students table, and here CSB 4 and 5 here. So let me type here my email ID, one of my email ID. So it is like rcb@fb.gmail.com. Okay, I copy this and I change for this student also 4 and 5. So 5 is this roll number, and I'm pasting it. Same. Okay, this student's email ID is set properly. And then I go back here and I just click on go again so that it fetches the new email IDs. Now you can see these two students have this email ID, rcb@fb@gmail.com. I have that email ID, I guess. Let me check, double check. So here it is rcb@fb. Okay. So if any email comes, I should get it here. Right now, I kept my inbox empty. Okay. No, not empty. There is one, but anyhow, I read that. Okay, so I should get some new emails there. Okay, let's see. And then I go to the app, and then I click on send email. Okay, let's see what happens when I click on send email. Okay, now it is showing me a message, email not sent. Okay, and if I go to my inbox, I'll not see any emails because emails were not sent. Okay, and I knew that emails will not be sent because, as I said you at the beginning also, that if you want your machine to be capable of sending emails, then you have to do certain configuration, and that is what I'm going to do now. Now see, the first configuration that you have to do is in the php.ini file. And how to open that file? You go to your gem control panel, and then in this Apache row, you click here config, and here you will find this php.ini file. Let me zoom in. This file php.ini I'm talking about. You have to click on that option or that file. Now here you just click on the file, and then you press Ctrl F, and then you type there mail function. Okay, so you have to type mail function, and then we press enter. So it will take you to this section here, and here let me make it full screen. Here you can see SMTP is equal to something will be written here. It might not be exactly the same thing in your case, but SMTP equal to something will be there. And what you have to do is you have to remove that something and type there smtp.gmail.com. Okay, this is the thing that you have to type there. And one more thing, if you see a semicolon in front of this SMTP, then you must have to remove the semicolon. The semicolon represents here a comment line. So you have to undo the comment. Okay. So you will be typing here smtp equal to smtp.gmail.com. That is done, the first thing. And then you scroll down a bit and SMTP port 25, that is fine. And then send mail from and equal to here. You see, you remember when I demonstrated the project, I showed you the received emails, and those emails were coming from this email ID, and that is the reason. And this is the place where you will be specifying the email ID from where all the emails will be sent to the students. Now here you'll be typing your own email ID, but for this demonstration I have created a brand new email ID for this purpose. Let's put that email ID here. Okay, and that email ID is, let me copy it from here, attendance app. I created a new email ID and I'll be now pasting it in the ENI file here. So here you'll be pasting the email ID. Okay, now done. Now send mail from is set, and then you scroll down a bit and then send mail path. Here it is written as cjam send mail exe. You also have to write the same thing. See, in your case initially it might not be like this, so if it is not like this, then you just type it like this. Okay, and if you do not want to type it, let me show you. See here, actually what it is saying is that it is specifying the part of a exe file. Okay, and that should be there in a computer. Let's see whether it is there in our computer or not. Okay, so let's go to C drive, and inside these we have this jam folder, and inside that we have this send mail folder. You see this send mail folder inside czamp. Now you have to open that folder, and inside this you can see this send mail application file, this file, and you have to, actually we are specifying the path for this file. Now see, you can copy the path from the address bar. So it is, you copy it from here, and then you go to the notepad, and then if you paste it down here, it should be same as, see here, exactly the same thing, czam send mail, and after that /sendmail.exe. So why is it important? Because here you see inside this folder we are specifying the path for this particular executable file. That's the meaning actually. So okay, anyhow, I don't need this, you don't need to do this. Okay, anyhow, you have to specify this send mail path to this sendmail.exe. Now once again, you make sure that before send mail there is no semicolon. Done. Now once you set this send mail path, then let's see what else we have to do here. So in that much only in php.ini file. Okay, so once you have done this few changes, you just press Ctrl S to save the file and close the file. Okay, once it is done, we have to now change the configuration of another file, and that file is there in the send mail folder itself. So if it is not open, you do again open C drive jam folder. Inside that you will get this send mail folder. So inside this send mail folder you will see this configuration file. So let's open this configuration file in Notepad. Open with Notepad, and here you see, here we have to do a few important settings. So let's see. So you scroll down you scroll down a bit, and then you will get this SMTP server equal to, here something will be written. In your case it might not be exactly email server. What you have to do is you have to set this value SMTP server to smtp.gmail.com, the way we did in php.ini. Here also we have to do the same thing for this SMTP server. Okay, and make sure that there is no semicolon in front of this SMTP server. Okay, done. Once you specify this SMTP server, you scroll down a bit and then make sure that your SMTP port is 587 this time. Okay, so if it is something else like 25, normally it is 25, but then also even if it is 25, just change it to 587. Okay, now scroll down a bit and let's see. These things will be exactly same, I guess, in your case also, like SMTP underscore SSL equal to auto. If it is not, just make it sure that the semicolon is removed and it is auto. After that, let's scroll down and scroll down, and if one more thing, if this error log file is not set, you just make it set. Like error log files, when I say make it set, means if there is a semicolon in front of it, remove the semicolon. Similarly, you remove the semicolon now from this debug log file also. Done. And then here is the most important settings that you have to do. Auth username, authentication username. Okay, now here, see, previously it was the email ID, so since we changed the email ID in php.ini, here also we have to change the email ID. The same email ID you specified in php.ini, the same email ID you have to write here also. Okay, let me write the email ID here. So once again, I'll be copying this email ID, the same email ID, and then I'll be pasting it here. So it means this is the email ID from where all the emails will be sent. Now we have to specify the authentication password. Now here, you remember, this password is not the password for this email ID. This password you have to get from Gmail explicitly. Now let's see how to do that. For that, you have to go to the Gmail account for this email ID. Let's open this email account for this email ID. So if I have already opened it, so from here you click here on the right hand side top, this icon, and then you will see this manage your Google account. You click on this button. It will bring you to this page, and from here on the left hand side panel, here you can see this. I'm clicking on this security tab. Once you click on this security tab, from here you have to select this two-step verification. Once you click on this two-step verification, sometimes it might ask you for the password for this email ID. Then you just specify the password and make sure that it is you. And after that, you should see this screen. And once you reach this screen, you just click on turn on two-step verification. If I click on this button, it is asking me for the registered phone number. So I'm typing my phone number here. And I'm clicking on next. This is why United States. I'm in India. Yeah, okay. And then I'm clicking on next. And it is asking me for the OTP. Let me check and type it here. Now, once you specify the OTP correctly, this screen will come. You are now protected with two-step verification. You just click on done, and it is done. Once you have done this thing, the next thing that you have to do is you go to the address bar here. Let me zoom in a bit. I have clicked on this address bar, and from here you see after gmail.com, you remove everything after that. Okay, so I have removed everything from there, and after that you type there app passwords, APPPASSWORDS. Okay, let me show you here, zoomed in. These are not like okay, sign in options also have to remove. So let me remove that sign in option. Okay, it should look something like this now. google.com/app passwords. Once you type that thing, you press enter. Once you press enter, this screen will come in front of you, and here it is asking you for an app name. Now see, this name you can write anything, ABCXYZ123, anything. So for the time being, suppose I'm writing here attendance app email. Okay, and I'm clicking on create. Now this screen is important. Don't simply click on done. Now from here, see here, your app password for your device is this one. So this is the password given to us by Gmail. Now we have to copy this password and don't close it. Let it remain open. I have copied this password, and copy this password, and then you go to this configuration file, and there you paste this password. Whatever it is, you paste it here. Okay. Once done, then you scroll down a bit, and then these things will remain same. There will be one option here, force sender, and make sure that the force sender email ID is same as the authentication username. So I'm copying it once again from here, and I'm pasting it in force sender option here. Okay, and again, once again, I'm telling you, make sure that the semicolons are removed from these options, like say from force sender, or maybe from authentication username and authentication password. Now once these things are done, I guess that much only. So let's save this file by pressing Ctrl S and close this file. Our configuration is done. Now things should work properly. After closing this file, you go to your XAMPP server. Do not forget to do this option. Once you save your configuration file, once you change something in the configuration file and then you save it, to apply those changes, what you have to do is you have to restart both these two servers. So Apache server, I'm stopping it, and MySQL server, I'm stopping it, and again I'm starting them. Okay, after restarting the servers, what I'll do is, now let's go back to our attendance app. Just to make sure that everything is fine, I'll be clicking on go button once again. Okay, and then let's click on this send mail option this time, and let's see what happens. So this time you can see the message is coming like email sent. Okay, let's see. And also you can see that this number is now increased. Initially it was 1, if you have noticed, but this time it is now, initially it was 0, now this time it is 1. That is, all these 3 students are now notified at least 1 times. Now here, see, out of these 3 email ID, I know these 2 email IDs. Let's see whether I received emails on this email ID or not. Let's go to that email ID. Gmail account. Let's go to this one here. This is this email account, you see, rcb@fp. Let me refresh the inbox. Let's see. Yeah, as soon as I refresh the inbox, now you can see I have received mails, and this time you see the sender's email ID. I open these emails, you see. Now the sender's email ID is this time attendance.app.noreply@gmail.com. This is the same email ID that we specified in the configuration file, right? And also you can see I'm receiving emails for Sophia Williams and Daniel Brown. Say, let's see whether those things are right or wrong. So here, see, is Sophia Williams and Daniel Brown. So things are working, I guess. Now it seems the app is working perfectly fine. Let's verify this report option also. So if I click on report, it will show me, okay, download summary and download details. If I click on this button, you can see one CSV file will be downloaded. Let's see. This file is downloaded, and you can see these are the details of the courses. I already have explained you what is the meaning of this CSV file. So I guess you can make it of your own. So similarly, if I click on this button, a detailed report will be downloaded. Let's see here. This report contains date-wise attendance, so all the dates. So I have most probably 3 or 4 classes. So these are the dates on which the classes were taken and present or absent status of the student. Now, as I said you earlier also, this CSV file actually you should open in an Excel sheet or maybe in Google Sheet. So that will make more sense. That's all then. That is how you can download the source code from GitHub and configure your system to run this project successfully. So we have our project ready in our computer for demonstration. Now it's time to take you through the source code briefly. To view the source code, let's open Visual Studio Code Editor. And from here, you click on File and Open Folder and browse to C drive. gem folder, that the source folder of your project. So it is there in C drive and gem and then htdocs, and from here you select attendance app, this folder, and click on select folder. Now your project is now loaded in Visual Studio Code Editor. You can see these are the files there in the project. You remember when you first run the project, you first actually went to this database folder, and from there you executed this createtables.php file. So if I click on this file, now you can see the content of the file, the actual source code which is written inside this file. See here, in this file, I'm basically creating all the tables which are there in the database. So for example, here I'm creating the student details table, here I'm creating the course details table, and so on. Not only that, I also have inserted some dummy records into a few of the tables. Say for example, here, in student details table, I'm inserting these few students there, their ID, roll number, and the name. Same way in faculty details table also, I have inserted ID, username, password, and name. See here. So these are the username and password that you saw. And again, similarly, I did the same thing with session details table. I inserted a few dummy sessions there. Course details table, I inserted a few courses there. Okay. Now, my main goal of this video is not to actually, take you through the coding process or make you understand how to code, how to design, how to think. My main goal of this video was just to share this project with source code and with, with the information so that you can actually run this project in your local computer. And however, if you really want to understand the source code and you want to add new features to this project, then what do I suggest you is you follow this playlist in my YouTube channel. So here it is Students Attendance Management System. If you do a search like Students Attendance Management System, Computer Science with Dr. RCB, then you should most probably will get it. But then also what I'll do is obviously I'll provide the link of this playlist in the description section. You just can click on that link and you can view this playlist. Now in this playlist this is the introduction part, and other than that there are 7 chapters. In the first chapter I explained how to design the ER diagram from the initial requirement. And then in this chapter, I explained how you can execute SQL commands from PHP programs. And this is the chapter, or this is the video where I have created that createtables.php file. And then in this chapter, I showed you how you can actually do the front-end coding using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And I designed the login page for the application. And here I connected the login page, the front end part, with the back end part, like how the login request is handled on the server at the back end. So those things are explained here. And if you want to understand how Ajax works, then this video you can go through. Here I explained like how we can fetch information, or how we can communicate with the server from the client without actually refreshing the page. So those things are explained here in this chapter. And then the next chapter is, here I just did it, it's a small chapter. Here I just designed the loader. It's purely HTML, CSS things. And after that, again, the next chapter is on designing the front end part of the attendance app. And this is also again pure HTML, CSS thing. And then in the final chapter, I wrote the code, necessary JavaScript code as well as the backend code to connect the front end of the attendance page with the backend server. Now at the end of this series, the application that we developed was something like this. It has the same login page. Here we will be specifying the username and password, say, and it will take you to this attendance page. Up to this point it looks very much similar, and then from here a session has to be selected, same, a list of courses displayed, same. But when the user clicks on this list of courses, you see the navbar is not there. I mean, that option of sending email notification is not there. And also the report section is a different thing here. It's just a button here. It's not like a separate section or something. And if the user clicks on this button, the summary report gets downloaded. The detailed report was not there. So those are some major differences. And also you can see here, against each student only the roll number and the name is displayed, not how many classes that student has attended or what is the percentage of attendance that student has is not displayed here. So those are some extra features that I have included with this project, and then I made that updated project available to you people. As you have seen, the main design and the structure of the application is same, which I explained in this playlist. So if you want to understand the project, then going through this playlist will certainly help you. However, since you people are with me up to this point, I want to tell you how you can quickly go to the specific part of the code which is responsible for a particular function. What I mean is, let's say for example, you want to know what is the code which gets executed when the user clicks on this button send mail. Okay, you got my point? That is, your goal is you want to know like where the code is which gets executed when the user clicks on this send email button. To do that, let's go to Visual Studio Code Editor. And here I have, this is the source code of our updated project. That is the source code that you also have. Here, what I'll do is I'll go to the JavaScript file and I will open this file attendance.js. I want to tell you something here. You see, when you load this page for the first time, say for example, I just, refresh it. This page was empty, and you will realize that this page is dynamically created. The content of this page is created dynamically based on the actions performed by the user. That is, when the user selects a session, then it displays the list of courses, and then when the user clicks on a particular course, then it displays the the attendance page, and when the user clicks on this notify thing, then it displays this other user interface in the same place, sort of, right? So it means the content of this HTML page, attendance page, is more or less generated dynamically, and that thing is done by actually a JavaScript program. And all those JavaScript code is written in this attendance.js file. You see here, for the login page, all the JavaScript code is there in login.js. For attendance page, all the JavaScript code is there in attendance.js. That is something I wanted to tell you. But now let's come back to our point. How do we know what happens when the user clicks on this send email option? Okay. Now in this JavaScript file, you just do a search. You press somewhere here and press Ctrl F and then search for that particular button, where that button is. So then the text on the button was written like send email, I guess. You just type as it is. Okay, let me check. What was it? It is, let's say, write something here and get the button. It is send email, right? So let's do the search here. Send email. Okay, no problem. Is it case sensitive here? I'm in attendance.js and here send email that is coming, right? When click on, there are a few. Let's go other one. Yes, see, this is the button. This is the button here. You see, it's a button, HTML button. The class is some CSS is applied whose name is button, and then this button has an ID. With the help of this ID, we can programmatically manipulate the button, or we can programmatically access the button. Okay, so here you just copy the ID and then search the ID. Where it will take you is, it will take you to the event listener which is assigned to this button. See here, whenever the user clicks on send email button, that is that particular button, whenever the user clicks, then these are a few steps the program executes. Say for example, it first gets the session ID and then class ID, faculty ID, and cutoff. How to understand these things, like what is the meaning of all this? For that, certainly you have to go to the tutorial video that I just mentioned, but then also you can make make a quite a good guess like what it is doing basically. Okay, and then it is calling another function, say send emails function, and this is again here in the same file. So you just do a you just do a find of it, like Control F, or most probably you can right click and you can go to definition of this function. So let's do it. Now send email function. Now inside this function, what is happening? You see, we are only one thing is happening, and that thing is this AJAX call. It means what? Whenever the user clicks on this button, after doing some initial processing, it at the end it performs an AJAX call. Why it is important? Because the emails are not going to be sent from your computer or your machine. Emails are ultimately going to be sent by the server. So that request is actually sent to the server. Okay, we have to send emails to this email IDs. So these informations are being passed to the server through an AJAX call. So that is what it's happening here. Okay, and let's see like what happens in the AJAX call. Let's see that thing. Okay, and now this AJAX call, in the AJAX call I have mentioned here one URL, and that URL means on the server side there will be one PHP file whose name is attendance AJAX. That PHP file should be there. And inside that attendance AJAX PHP file, there will be a function more or less whose name will be send email to defaulter students. Okay, let's copy this name and let's go to this attendance AJAX file and see here it is there in AJAX handler folder. So I'll go to AJAX handler folder and this is attendance AJAX file. I'm opening this file just by double clicking it, and then I'm searching for that particular function. See here, when the action is equal to send email to defaulter students. Here now see, we were in attendance.js. You see here, let me open this file also, attendance.js. From here we are making the AJAX call, and that AJAX call has to be handled by this PHP file. Now the role is changed. Now this code is written in PHP and that JavaScript code was written in JavaScript. You got it? So that's what actually means a full stack developer. You do the coding for everything, the front end, the back end, then the database and everything. Okay, anyhow, so in this AJAX handler, we have to look for this particular function more or less. And then inside this function, everything is happening. Like it's taking whatever is being sent from the client or from the JavaScript function, it is taking out all those things from this post array. And then it is making some, see here, ADO is equal to new attendance details. Here I'm creating an object of this particular class, and it is there here in this database folder. You see here, there will be one attendance details, this attendance details. Okay, so this is inside this class. If you open it, you will see, okay, inside this class, all these functions are there, like save the attendance, get the present list of a class by these, and all these functions are written inside this class. But anyhow, let's see what happens. ado.get JSON attendance report. But if you want to directly jump into that function, what you do is you just right click on that function, and just a second, you just right click on that function and you click on go to definition. Immediately it will take you to that function. Even if it is on a different file, in a different file, it will take you to that file and that function. So get JSON attendance report. So it does something there again, and it just generates the report in the form of a JSON object, and it returns. So here you receive it, and then again you do some, you make use of some helper classes and generate the data like that. And at the end, what is happening is, you see the sending email part where it is happening in this line. There is only one line that sends the email. You see the mail, this is a PHP inbuilt function that takes where to send the mail, to whom you want to send the email, what is the subject of the email, and what is the message that you want to send to the sender. Now this message is customized, as you remember, like there, what is the name of the student. That's why different student gets different emails, right? What is the name of the student, and then what is the cutoff percentage, what is the name of the course, and what is the name of the faculty. Those things are inserted into the message. The message is created, and at the end, by making use of this mail function, inbuilt PHP function, we are sending the emails to the to all the students who have less attendance. But anyhow, that is how you actually can go through. See here, I showed you from the JavaScript file, you went to this AJAX file. From the AJAX file, you went to this attendance details file to know each and every line of code, or to go through each and every line of code which is getting executed. So at the end, again, all these things will happen. This AJAX, attendance AJAX is doing all this processing and all. And at the end, what it is doing is this statement, echo JSON encode return value. After doing all this processing, this function, you see, in this function we are doing all this processing and we are generating a result in the form of an array, and that array we are sending back to the client machine in the form of a JSON object. Now again, on the client machine, what will happen is, you see, after making this request, it will display you the overlay fade in. That's why you see that round and round circle there. And when it receives a response from the server, as soon as it receives it, it removes that round and round busy symbol, and then it displays you the message appropriately. If there was no error, it will send you, it just, displays this message. Otherwise it displays email not sent. Got it? And if something is wrong, like if on the server there is something, some exception happens, then unfortunately you will see this alert message like something went wrong. And if that happens, you can, let me know it in the comment section. I might try to help you. Okay, then that's all, and that is how you go through the code. And this is true for most of the most of the functions which are there in the app. Say for example, now if you want to go through what happens when the user clicks on this go button, say for example, then what will you do? You will go to the JavaScript file, because you know that the go button will be there somewhere here. So you just press Ctrl F and type there go. Let's see where that button is first. You have to locate that thing first, and let's see, where is it? Is it not there? Okay, there is this button, this go button here, you see, button, and this button is also having an ID, the same thing. This button is having this ID, and this ID allows you to, again I'm saying you the same thing, this ID allows you to programmatically manipulate that button. You can assign an event listener to that button. Okay, let's find that thing. So I'm copying it and I'm searching for it, and let's go there. And you see here also an event listener is there, like on the click event of this button, I'm calling this function. So here also I'm calling a function. So if you want to see what is there inside that function, you just right click on that function and you click on go to definition. It will take you to that function, and it is inside the same file. We are still in attendance .js file. So here again, you can follow on, like whatever it is that I'm doing here, you can see it here. Okay. So that's all then. That is how you can go through the code and you can find the portion of the code which is responsible for a particular function of the app. Okay guys, then that much only in this video. Hope you people got some value out of this video. If you have any doubts or queries, you people can let me know it in the comments section. See you guys with some new content in the next video. Till then, have a nice day.